Why Americans use the name soccer instead of football. Back in 1863, a group of people in England got together and created the Football Association to set the rules for the beautiful game. At the time, football had different variations, so having an official set of rules was important to give the sport some consistency. But because of this, a brand new word for football would be invented. You see, after the Football Association set the rules for the game, people started referring to the sport as association football to distinguish it from other variations of football that were being played at the time. But that's a long name, so it was often shortened to ASOC by the general public. But then British schoolboys started doing something weird. The thing is, in the 1890s, British schoolboys had a habit of shortening words by just taking the first syllable and adding ER to the end. For example, the word rugby became known as rugger. So they did the same with ASOC, but the first syllable of that word was ass, and British schoolboys didn't want to call the sport asser. So instead, they skipped the first syllable of the word and decided to use the sock syllable of ASOC and added the ER to the end. Thus, the word soccer was officially born by British schoolboys. But if the British invented the word soccer, why don't they use it instead of football? Well, as it turns out, by the 20th century, Americans had fully embraced the term soccer to distinguish it from American football, and even countries like Australia, Canada, and South Africa had adopted the term. However, over time, soccer just became too associated with the US, and the English, who still used the term football as well as soccer, didn't like how Americanized the term became, so they stopped using it altogether.